Boxing Day here in Canada. That is the 26th of December. I don't think we're the only country who celebrate Boxing Day. I think they do in the UK as well, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me. And if you live in a country that also celebrates Boxing Day, Australia, do you celebrate Boxing Day? I think you might. Anyways, I figured that quite a few of you maybe don't know what Boxing Day is and would be interested. So I did a little search, and the first thing that comes up from timeanddate.com is that Boxing Day is a holiday for many Canadians on December 26th. It gives people the chance to take part in the post-Christmas sales or watch ice hockey games. I don't really think that's how Boxing Day began. But anyways, that's kind of what it has turned into. It's sort of like our own version of Black Friday. It has kind of become that. We have Boxing Day sales. We have Boxing Week sales. Sales start, early in the morning, the day after Christmas. And if you want to avoid consumerism, we just stay at home and stay in our pajamas. However, there's another question here. Why do we celebrate Boxing Day? A Christmas box in Britain is a name for a Christmas present. Boxing Day was traditionally a day off for servants and the day when they received a Christmas box from the master. The servants would also go home on Boxing Day to give Christmas boxes to their families. So there you go. It's a day off for all of us servants. And we enjoy it. So I am still in my pajamas today, even though it is 12:30. But that's okay. That's all good. I have a lot of stitching to do today, so I'm going to be brief with this video. But I have a finish and I couldn't wait to share it with you. I posted a picture on Instagram and Facebook yesterday, so you've probably all seen it already, but that's okay. I'm going to share it again anyways because I just need to crow a little bit about my Flossmas finish. I finished my Diana Waters handmade Christmas tree ornament. And I'm not going to show you the back because, oh, what the heck. I have no shame. I kind of took the easy route out and I didn't completely, well, I'll show you what I mean. Ready? There. That's what my back looks like. And you know what? I'm good with it. It's done. It's going to hang on the Christmas tree. This is the side you're going to see. I don't care about this. It's done. So look at that. Yay, it's finished. And I put a really sparkly gold ribbon as the hanger. I tied it right to the top of the little frame, and that's it. So in case you've never done this with a circle in a square piece of fabric, it was very simple. What I did was I trimmed to 1 inch all the way around. I threaded my needle with some of the leftover embroidery floss, and then I just sewed my way around the circle and then pulled it tight. And that's it. And then I sewed a few knots in the end. And that's it. Neat and tidy from the front. Done. Yay! So that's all finished. So as today is December 26th, that leaves 6 more days until the very end of December. And I'm going for it. I'm going to go for 6 more ornaments, 6 more new starts, because I'm formulating plans for 2019. I'm not one of those people who can plan too far in advance. I like to think things through for a while, and then I want to implement them yesterday. I'm thinking. I have some ideas. I can tell you one thing. High tea for myself for 2019 is going to change. So that's a little heads up because this Sunday is the last high tea of 2018. And I will talk a little bit more about my own plans for myself for high tea for 2019. I'm still going to do it. It's just going to be a little different for myself. It can still be the exact same for you because high tea is it's supposed to be something special for you, and there's not really any rules to it. You make up your own rules. So I'm changing my rules for myself. Okay, so you may remember I had started a Keslan Design Let It Snow ornament on some green linen. I got the word "it" done, and I had half of the remnant left of this lovely green fabric, And so what I wanted to do was I kind of wanted to have a little companion piece to the Let It Snow, something that was entirely white on this green, this really, it's really nice actually. It's a lovely linen. It's a 32 count. 32 count. It's called, the colorway was listed as teal, but it doesn't really look teal to me. What do I know? So what I did was I went back to the Rosewood Manor ornament book, the Christmas Blues. This one. I showed this way back at the beginning of Flossmas, and the ornament that I started out of this book was this Noel one on the back, and I was using the pre-count Ada canvas. Now that reminds me, somebody had a question about that pre-count canvas, and I don't know that I answered them on YouTube, the YouTube question. In case you're watching, I'll try to go back and find it and answer it. It was kind of one of those things, if you really want me to answer something that you can't wait on the video, it's best to email me directly, caroline@evertote.com. A lot of comments go through YouTube and I read them all, but I don't always have time to go in right then at that moment and answer them. And so days will go by and I'll forget to go back, and then there's like 100 more comments piled up on top of the one where you maybe asked me a question. Whereas if you email me a question, chances are I'm much more likely to, it'll still be in my email list that I go through on a really regular basis. So just if I haven't gotten back to you about anything, and if you've emailed me a question and I haven't gotten back to you, first of all, I apologize. And second of all, please just send it again, because it's completely unintentional. I have a lot of different avenues where I'm trying to juggle some balls with, you know, social media and the business email and business social media and my own personal stuff that I love and want to keep up with. So non-intentional. If I've missed a comment or question, please just send it to me again and I'll do my very best to answer it. The question was about, how do you know what size of design will fit on the canvas? So these were, it was a 3-pack of Ada. It looks to be 14 count Ada, and all I did was I counted it. I counted the squares across, and I double checked. I counted both ways. So I counted this way, side to side, and I counted up and down. And it worked out to about 50 to 52 squares per, no, it was more than that. Sorry, it was about 60, just over 60, 61, 62 on each side. And then I've got my fabric count, and I know you'll get the stitch count in a design of what, you know, how many stitches across and how many stitches high. So that's just how I knew. I physically counted them because I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to start a design that wasn't going to fit. That would have been upsetting. Okay. Round back to where I was talking about Christmas blues. I started this Noel piece on one of the pre-wrapped Ada canvases. Okay, so I've come back to this book with my lovely piece of green linen, and do you see the Christmas tree here? Okay, so Karen Kluba, the genius designer behind Rosewood Manor, inside the very last few pages of this book, and it's a book, there are 14 main ornaments, and then there are sub ornaments, like they're peppered throughout the book. She has taken little design elements from each big ornament and turned it into a tiny little ornament or a different idea using the same thing. So the ornament that I'm going to put on here has actually been taken from this Christmas tree. So she designed something using the top motif from the Christmas tree, and she sort of blew it up and then decorated around it. And it's lovely. And so what I'm going to do is, it looks like a snowflake. So I'm going to stitch all in white a snowflake on my green canvas that will be a little companion ornament to my Let It Snow. Ta-da! And that's today's ornament. So it is now 12:37. I am going to stay in my pajamas today for the rest of the day. I put in a little video at the beginning. You can see that I'm working on my Corners and Curves, also by Rosewood Manor. And I'm I'm loving it. I ran into a little bit of trouble with some of the gold color. So I showed that I was thinking of using another gold color, which I have done. I've ripped out the stuff that I wanted to replace, and I have replaced it. However, I thought that I had 2 skeins of that. It's called, I'll type it in because the skein is downstairs. I can't remember the name of it. It's not, is it Grecian gold? I think it's Grecian gold. It's Grecian gold or heirloom gold. Anyways, I thought I had 2 skeins. I only have 1. Only have 1. So what I did was early this morning, you know, your brain starts working and then you start to think, oh, I never should have done that. I'm never going to have enough to stitch the whole design, because it is 2 over 2 on 28 count. It's big. It's not small. 1 skein isn't going to cut it. Period. And it's an overdyed hand, you know, it's an overdyed cotton. So chances of me getting another dye lot skein that's the same, slim to none, because I kitted this up like 5 years ago. There's no way I'm ever going to get a gold. Actually, that gold is from something else. The gold that I've swapped in is from a entirely different project. I only have 1 skein. So Kathy from Thread and I, when they closed down the shop, she had a spare copy of, I took a spare copy of their old copy of the DMC thread charts. You know what I mean? I'll show you tomorrow. Anyways, I went through it and I found DMC 728 is pretty close. It's DMC 728 is pretty close. So I'm going to go and find a skein of 728, and then I'm going to start subbing in, what do you call it? It has a name for it when you take one thread, you know what I mean? Ugh. I'm obviously on holiday mode here. You take one thread of the old and one thread of the new and you combine them, and then together you can't even tell. So that's what I'm going to do in order to make that 1 skein, hopefully, fingers crossed, last for the whole design. You know, it's not going to be right beside each other, so I can probably get away with mixing it up until I run out and then just sticking in plain 728 for the little bits that are left. I'll try to do the big sections first and then just be left with the little bits and pieces all over the place. Does that make sense? Anyways, it's Boxing Day. This servant is off to go park her behind in the chair with a cup of coffee and do some stitching. Hooray. Okay, so have a wonderful day. Happy stitching, and I will see you tomorrow. Almost forgot, there's one more thing. Beagle Paws, the Beagle Paws donations. I have 46 people who have donated to Beagle Paws. We're so close. I'm really, really hoping I can get 4 more people to donate just a couple of dollars to Beagle Paws rescue group out in St. John's, Newfoundland. All of the information can be found on episode Flossmas Day 22. I've got 46 lovely people who have donated some money to Beagle Paws. I'm going to up the prizes by 2 bag sets if we can get up to 50. So I just need 4 more. I feel like a PBS ad right now. Do you know what I mean? We can watch that show. We can get to that show in just a few more minutes if we just have a few more callers call in. You all remember what I'm talking about. We had TVO here in Ontario in Canada, so TV Ontario. That was our public broadcast channel, and TVO would always have these fundraising drives, and you could never watch Saturday Night at the Movies, which John and I loved because there was a host, his name was Alwie Yost, and he was wonderful. We loved listening to him because he was so smart and he knew everything about these movies, and it was just classic cinema that you could watch on Saturday night. There were 2 movies back to back, and so we would this was before we had kids, and we would make some popcorn and grab a drink, and we would sit down and look forward to watching Alwie Yost and these classic movies on Saturday night. But usually several times a year there were these fundraising drives, and so you'd have to sit through the fundraising drives before you could get to Saturday Night at the Movies. I digress. This feels a little like that. So I can add those 2 more bag sets if I can just get 4 more people to donate to Beagle Paws. then you know what? If we've got 50 entries, your chances are pretty good. I'll have 8 big prizes. So 6 bag sets, either a medium or a large, a whole set of Prairie Schooler alphabet, the alphabet charts, on the old cardstock, you know, the nice ones, and then a whole series of the Little House Needleworks ABC sampler houses. So big prizes. I can't wait to send them out to some lucky person. So 4 more people, you guys. Let's see if we can do it. And thank you so much. I have the emails that everybody has sent me with the you know, letting me know that you've donated. Thank you so much. I need to write back to all of you. It's on my to-do list. Not that it's a chore. I'm looking forward to writing back to you. It's just a lot, and well, it's been Christmas. So in case I don't get back to, there was one person, escaped my memory. Was it Susan? Susan, Liz in Dundas, you're coming to London. You said you might stop at Knit Stitch. She's closed. Knit Stitch is closed until the new year. So don't make a special trip all the way from Dundas to London just to go to Knit Stitch. Just in case I don't get back to your email in time. I hope you see this. No, you know what? I'm gonna go in and find your email and send that to you right now, because I'd feel really bad if you drove all the way to London and she was closed. Okay, I am babbling. This is me on holiday. Okay, time to go. Happy stitching.